Hi folks, Speedway Tag here. I'd like to show you Subway Squeeze. Came out a few years ago. I think you can still get this game fairly easily, I think. It's the first Polyomino game that I've done on my channel. I love them. I just haven't got around to doing any of them. So I want to do a couple of them over the next few weeks. And Subway Squeeze is one of our favorites. It's a train carriage cramming commuters into carriages themed game, which I'm very familiar with because I ride the train every day. And so there's the box there. It's for 2 to 4 players, this one. It's 12 and up, and it's probably going to go for about 30 minutes, which is right. The game pieces actually come in this lovely little like sub box, which looks like a train carriage. So I think that's really well done. A nice little score pad there. And this is the way you set up the game. Wow, that looks like a lot, but it is quite a lot of space to get going. So the first thing you do is you put your train station, the platform down here, and you put the first stop here on, there's 9 stops, and you start here, okay? And then if you're playing a 2 or 4 player game, you use this side of the platform. If you're playing a 3 player game, you use the other side. But I'm going to show you a 4 player game, how it goes here. So a 4 player game means you have this side and you put the station dividers according to these lines there. So we put 3 dividers, which means there's 4 queues of passengers waiting to get on the platform, okay? 4 queues. If we were playing a 2 player game on this side, we'd only have this 1 divider down the middle, and there'll be just 2 queues of passengers going up to the station platform, okay? You put the lost property tiles by themselves off to the side. You put the single passenger tiles off to the side. They don't go into the queue. But then the person who, first of all, you put 9 in each queue. And they're wonderful little polyominoes. You can see the artwork on them is very good. I love the way that the aspect of the characters on the polyominoes. They're looking up. They're looking up at you, and I think that's really well done. You've got pregnant ladies and tourists and commuters and families, just random bags, dogs even. That blue one is a busker. And it's really, really well done. So anyway, 9 in each queue, and the person who's going first, who last rode a train, which is always me in this house, gets the conductor token. And then this is the beauty of going first, okay? Obviously going first has its perks and it has its curse as well. Because if you're going first, you get to choose a polyomino from each queue and you put it in those 4 spots. So I might, as the conductor, and I'm going first because I've got that conductor chip, I might choose these pieces and populate the station platform like that. Maybe I'll do this one, okay? Over there. And you also put the conductor piece on that little spot. Right, so that's the perk of being the conductor, but the curse is that you now choose last. What's going to happen is each player is going to take one of those on the platform and place it in their lovely little nice hard cardboard carriage here. Okay, this is the day side. The night side looks a little bit different with spills and breakages and, you know, what you would expect in the night. That's a slightly more advanced version of the game. I'm just showing you the regular base version, which is the day side. Okay, so on your turn, the person to the left of the conductor will choose one of these pieces and put it on their carriage. And whoever takes the piece where the conductor piece is, so whoever decides to take this piece will also take the conductor piece, and they're the conductor for the next turn. So they will then get to populate the station platform, but also go last. So what if I, first of all, chose this one? If it's my turn, I chose this one. And you just keep it here until everybody's had a choice. Everyone's chosen something from there. Okay, and so the platform is empty again. Now you go to the part of the turn where you actually place your piece somewhere in your carriage. You can't play, there's a couple of rules of what you can or can't do here, okay? You can't obviously place outside of the carriage like that with things hanging over. You can't overlap pieces like that. That's definitely a no-no. And you can't place on these 4 places there, which are barriers on the carriage. Everything else is great. The numbers on all the spots are basically gaps. If any of those are still uncovered at the end of the game, that's how many points you lose. So if this, and this is still uncovered at the end of my game, I'm going to lose 6 points. So you're trying to cover up as much as you can with your polyominoes, but you're also trying, obviously, to place these things in a meaningful, scoring advantageous order, okay? Because each one of these colors and groups of various commuters score differently. For example, okay, I might go through some of the scoring examples, scoring explanations now. I've got a pregnant lady there, and if I can get the pregnant lady on the seats, it's very thematic, as you'll see with this scoring. These are the seats, the darker purple ones with the ones on them. If you can get a pregnant lady on a seat like that, see, I've done that just there. The pregnant lady is going to give you 3 points, and the scoring is here down the bottom of your carriage, which is really helpful. If you don't get her on a seat, she's going to be worth 0, which is, disappointing. So really, with the pregnant ladies, you want to maximize them. Get them on a seat. They'll score 3 points. The orange people here are tourists, and if I can, each group of 3 or more tourists, which are touching each other, will get me 4 points, okay? If I get a group of 5 touching each other, it's still just 4 points. So you want to group the orange tourists together. You also want to group the green families. These are just regular families, and you see here the family scoring conditions are here, okay? One green family member by themselves is going to get you nothing, but as you get 2, 3, 4, or 5, and 6 touching each other, more points, okay? 1, 3, 5, 8, and 12. I've just got the 1 there at the moment, and that's how we go. Okay, so let's say another person is the conductor, and they decide to populate the. Once again, they don't have to take the next one in line. They can take anything. And this is where later in the game, being the conductor is very helpful, because you actually get to choose a couple of things that you would really want and put them out there and then hope that nobody else takes them, right? But that later in the game, that's pretty important. Very useful to be able to choose what goes on this station platform. Okay, so if I had another turn here and people take their various turns, and I might, let's see. Let's say I took this one, okay? That's got another pregnant lady. But if I placed this here, okay, I would now have a group of 3 tourists, which gets me 4 points. I've got another pregnant lady on the seat, which gets me 3 points. Here, the gray people are commuters, 1 point for each one in a group. But if you can get commuters, the group of commuters, actually touching one of these doors, see those white spaces? There's a space there and a space there. The white spaces are doors, okay? And again, thematically beautiful, because commuters want to get on and get off as soon as they can. So if you can get your group of gray commuters also touching one of those doors, they're going to double in. They're going to double in value. Okay, they're worth 1 each if they're not touching doors. But if their group does touch a door space, they're worth 2 each, which is really good. So, okay, and so that might be another turn finish. But so you get the idea how this part works. Okay, the person who takes the piece where the conductor's hat is, they will be the one populating the station platform. And I did forget, and each turn you move this train up each stop. So eventually you're going to have 9 turns. And when you get to the end there, you finish that turn and the game's over. You would have taken 9 pieces, and you might get a few more as well, as I'll explain in a second. And then you would score. The way to get more pieces is, okay, there's another type of person on these pieces. So, okay, just imagine this keeps going like I showed you. Here's a piece which has got, first of all, it's got a dog on it, okay? If you can get that dog next to a family, okay, let's say this is what's happening here, Okay, let's fast forward in the game a little bit, and my board looks like that. I've got oh, that's not really right. Yes, that's better. Okay, so I've got a very small family, a group of two, and if you can get a dog to touch a family, the dog's going to give you 2 points. But if you've got a dog that's not touching a family, it's going to give you 0 points. Okay, the bags like this are very helpful. They don't give you any points, but they give you an opportunity to connect colors. Okay, so if I put another family piece over here, oh, let's say if that was there, and I put another tourist piece there, okay, that would connect this guy with this guy, even though they're themselves they're not connected, but the orange bag connects them. So you see how that works. So the bags are quite important. Okay, so we know how the dogs work. There's another type of character here, and that's a conductor. Okay, I think that's a conductor. Is that what they ticket inspector? Sorry, when there's a ticket inspector there. When you place it, they don't give you any points, but they allow you to take a single piece passenger, which is really, really helpful. So if I took this, you know, they're the various kinds, and if I took you might just need that one piece for something, and if I just wanted that tourist to go there, now I've got two now. Okay, but sometimes you just need that one extra piece. Maybe I would take a commuter to get this group of commuters going. Okay, so as in all these Polyomino games, the one piece is very useful. So you get them by placing ticket inspectors. And finally, if you take a piece that just won't fit anywhere on your board, and that's definitely going to happen as we get towards the end of the game, you discard that piece, and then you get to take one of these lost property pieces, which has got, as I explained before, bags. And bags allow you to connect colors. Okay, so that's how the lost property pieces work. If you take a piece from there, you can't fit it here, you discard it, and you take a lost property piece instead. And more often than not, you're going to be able to fit a piece with only just two on it somewhere. And like I said, they're bags, so they will connect colors and help you get to that elusive passenger who you're trying to connect to over here. Eventually, you keep going like this, and then you score. So, there's one other person that I haven't explained yet, and that is the blue guy. Okay, see the blue guy there? He's a busker, right? If you put a busker down, okay. Now you notice on each of these pieces, there's multiple different characters, different passengers. So that's the beauty of this game. Like you might take the passenger that you want, but then the other passengers on that piece, it's a challenge to try and get it to fit like you want it, not to ruin what you're doing. We really love that spatial element to this and the puzzle element to this game. It never gets tiring. So when you place a busker, okay, what you're trying to do is surround him orthogonally with other passengers, and you get 1 point for every passenger that's touching that busker orthogonally. Okay, again, beautifully thematic because buskers want people around them listening. Okay, I think I've gone through them all. Families, dogs, commuters, tourists, buskers, pregnant women, and ticket inspectors. As I said, when the stop gets to the end, everybody will score their carriage, and you will minus points for every single gap that is still showing. Now, if I finished here, I wouldn't, because I'd have 9 pieces on here and sometimes more. But if I finished here, all of these would be negatives, right? Obviously, you don't want that. So the challenge of this game is being the conductor, putting out things there that will benefit you, maybe messing with the people's minds a little bit, taking what you need to make groups that you need, get them in places that you need, like the pregnant women, for example, or the commuters at the door, and balancing that with actually trying to fill your carriage as best as you can to minimize the negatives. So, and then the scorecard is here, okay? The scorecard's right there, and you just score that up, and whoever has got the most points wins. That's Subway Squeeze. Hope you can find it if you like it. Thanks for watching. See ya.